So yeah, good afternoon everyone. My name is Kate Kramer. I'm the social media coordinator for the university. Welcome to the workshop. Today we're going to be exploring Facebook as a university page. So what I'm going to ask you to do is log onto the computer how you normally would with your password and an ID, and then if you could open up your Facebook profile. If you don't have a Facebook profile, I just ask if you could buddy up with somebody who does. We're going to basically create a page and you have to have a profile in order to do that. How we're going to start this off is I just wanted to introduce you guys to Facebook for Business. This is the actual website. So if you guys could go to facebook.com/business, it'll take you to this page right here. So here's where you can read up on examples of how people are using Facebook for their business. At the very top, right here, you see Getting Started, okay? This is going to bring you to a place where you can go through an overview of what Facebook has to offer. There are many different things you can click on and read. Next to Getting Started, we have Solutions. You can get answers to questions there. There's Success Stories after that, where you can take a look at how other universities are using Facebook today, what types of things work and what don't. After that is the Get Help section. Right here is really nice because you can go and visit the Help Center. There's a forum, so you can go ahead and pose questions and have actual people from other universities answer them for you. You may have something really specific and unique to your university, and hopefully you can get your questions answered there. So lastly is News, which is great because you can find things on tips and tricks for basically the new algorithms that are out in Facebook. They change constantly. So the new things that are working and who's using them and how. So I highly recommend checking out all of these different resources. It'll give you a great foundation of knowledge to build off of so you can truly understand what you need to build and why you need to build it. Okay, so let's discuss the difference between Facebook profiles and a Facebook page. So this is my Facebook profile. This is basically a personal activity log of my life. It's stuff I share, from photos of vacations, my kids, dinner, pictures of my dog, and so on. To the left, you have some rows. Basically, you can describe your favorite TV shows, movies, books, so on and so forth. So as you can see here, the relationship between a personal profile and other people on Facebook is completely different than what it would be if you were a Facebook fan page or a business page. When you're looking at a profile like this, you have the ability to add this person as a friend. The friendship implies that there's a connection between you and that person. You wouldn't want to be friends with a business. And you wouldn't want to be friends with a brand. You might want to follow that brand, you might want to like that brand, but you guys aren't hanging out as friends. Okay? So Facebook profiles are meant for personal, everyday use of your life, the person running the Facebook page. So as a matter of fact, Facebook has strict guidelines in place that prohibits you from using Facebook profiles in the promotional sense. So if you're going to create something for your department, it cannot be a profile, it has to be a page. Okay, so let's explore Facebook pages. This is the Eastern Connecticut State University's Facebook page. This page allows me to act as the page manager, completely separate from my personal profile. But it's linked, so I can switch back and forth. This is a screenshot, so this isn't live, but I basically took a screenshot of when I was hovering over my permissions for the page. I am acting as Eastern Connecticut State University, but I am logged in under Kate Kramer, as you can see right here. So I have the ability to switch back and forth to post to the page as the page manager or to myself if I wanted to. You have to have some sort of personal account on Facebook in order to create a Facebook page because somebody has to administer that page. You don't necessarily have to post anything to your profile page, and you don't even have to let anyone know that you're the admin behind the actual page. They're not going to be able to see anything about your personal profile on the page that you administer, though. It's two completely separate entities. So here's where you would start building your page. So I'm going to ask everybody to go ahead and build a temporary page. Now don't worry, guys, we're not going to publish them. Or we're going to create them and then we're going to unpublish them, so they won't be live, okay? So before you start building your page, what you would need is what I call an asset package. We're going to get to that in a minute. But you also need to plan out the page and decide what category your Facebook page is going to fit into. So there's 6 different types of categories. There's local business and place, company, organization, or institution, brand or product, artist, band, public feature, entertainment, or cause and community. We are institution, so that's what you would choose. When you click on institution, some choices are going to pop up right over here on the right. It's going to say choose your category, and what will pop up when you click on that box is education. You can go ahead and choose that if you'd like. So go to your profile page. There's going to be a down arrow on the top right here. Yep, click that. And then you're going to go to create page. So now you can see if you click on institution, it's going to give you some options there to choose from for category. So you can go ahead and choose the category that would be appropriate to this page that you're going to create. And then you're going to enter the name of your page. So that's where it says company name. And then you can click Get Started. So it really depends on what type of options that you're looking for. But basically, in all essence of any kind of pages for the university, we're going to always choose this one right here, which is institution. It's important to note here that if you do not make a choice and you aren't satisfied with the options, you can always go back and change the category that you chose in the future. This is part of what I would call your asset package. Anytime I'm walking somebody through creating a personal profile or business profile in a social network, I always recommend that they develop an asset package. So what exactly that is first things first for Facebook, you're going to need a cover photo. Cover photo for Facebook is always 851 pixels by 315 pixels. If you upload anything larger than that, it's going to kind of like magnify it, and you can reposition it, but it won't shrink it. So you're going to have to find an image exactly that size if you want it to be exactly, show up exactly those dimensions on the cover photo. So, what exactly is your cover photo? What should it be? My recommendation is that you do something that represents your department or the page as a whole. Something that's eye-catching but not too distracting. Something that gets people excited and draws their attention to your page and makes them want to like it in general. One of the things you cannot do with a cover photo ever is make it promotional. You can't say click here, you can't say go there, you can't say buy this, that kind of thing. It has to just be a very simple image, like a photo. I think if it's over 50% words, they actually won't let you, 50% type, they won't let you upload it as a cover photo. So that's that big blue photo back here. The second piece of your asset package is your profile picture. So you can note here that it says 180 by 180, but when it actually appears, it's 160 by 160. So they cut off that 20 pixels for the border. So it's a complete square. So if you can find a photo that's a complete square, that's what I would suggest using. And again, what is a profile picture? Something I would suggest is a logo. We use the new Sustainable Energy logo for the main university page right now. You can always use the regular university logo. If your department has a logo, you can pull that. But I would just recommend to stay with the same logo across all your platforms. So if you already have a Twitter or a LinkedIn or something like that, I would recommend to use the same one for all of those. The same thing as like Apple and Coca-Cola. You want people to recognize your identity. So last things you'll need for your asset package are going to be right up here. The first one is a biography, usually 2 to 3 sentences or paragraphs describing the who, what, and where of who you guys are. You'll need the About Me section, which is going to be about 1 to 2 paragraphs, giving people, again, a brief overview. And then a tagline. This can be anywhere from 3 words to 2 sentences. Like a slogan for your department. When you have all of this done, or we pretty much have all of this done because on the Eastern CT website there's copy for every department, so you can always pull that off, refine it, make it maybe a little bit, fluff it up a little bit more. But at the end of the day, when you have all these things ready to go, you can easily build your Facebook page. So after you've chosen the category that fits your page, and you click Get Started, you'll be prompted to this setup page. So the first field up here you'll see a description request. This is where you tell people about your page so it shows up in the right areas when people search for it. All right, so this is basically like meta tags. So anything that, if you're the biology department, you definitely want to put the word biology right here as many times as possible. The next field is website. So say you want to have somebody go right to your page on the Eastern CT website, you would just do www.easternt/biology department. It also says right here, Twitter or Yelp links. You can link to your other social media accounts. Say you have like a really popular Twitter feed, you could link right there to that. Your LinkedIn page, Mike, I know you guys have a really nice LinkedIn page. You could link right there to that, so on and so forth. Okay, so in the third field, it'll ask you to enter an address. This is where you can attach your department name. So, I'm sorry, you said which department you were in? Communications. So you would write right here, Eastern CT Communications. Okay? And then the last field right here, it asks, is this a real organization? Unfortunately, all of these pages are unofficial pages of the university, so you have to select no. All right, and then you're going to go ahead and save, and it's going to bring you over to the next page. Now we're going to upload a profile picture. You have the option here to directly upload from your computer or from a website. All right, and again, it's going to be a 180 by 180 image that's going to shrink down to 160 by 160. So if you guys want to go ahead and do that now, you can. Obviously, if you don't have that ready, just go ahead and skip that step. All right, so this is going to ask me whether or not I want to add it to my favorites. This favorites is just a section on the left-hand side of your Facebook profile that'll make it like a shortcut for you to get to this page. So go ahead and just add that to your favorites. That way, like I said, you can just get to this a lot easier. Or if you'd like, you can skip that step. All right, so once you're done with that, you're going to have your page created. It's going to take you to your page, and it's going to just look something like this. I know it's light in the background, but it should have a Getting Around tab pop up. Does everyone have that? Okay. So now the Facebook page recently changed its page layout, so you might want to take some time going through this little tour that prompts up. But it tells you right here everything you need to know to manage your page in these three tabs right here. All right? So page, everything you need to manage is in these three tabs. So then it tells you right here that you can like your own page. If you go through those three tabs, guys, it'll prompt you to this. It'll say like your own page. Just go ahead and like your own page. That way you have at least one like when you first start your page. All right, and the next box that will prompt up will ask you if you want to invite your friends to your page. So this means you can personally invite any of your friends from your profile page. Again, your Facebook page do not have any friends, they have likes. So you can't technically invite anybody from your page. You have to invite them from a profile. You can invite people through an email contact list. You can invite them through your friends on your other profile. You know, or you can just hit next in this case and move on. But that's how you would go ahead and do that there. So over here, this column right here, this is one of the most important things on Facebook. It's the notifications and messages that'll be displayed. So it'll tell you, you know, page likes, notifications, messages, all these things that are saved in the back of your profile. So you have 2 new messages, it'll pop up right here. You have 5 new notifications, it would pop up there. 10 people liked your page. So it's just a way of reading analytics a little quicker than going into the actual insights of Facebook. So now, granted, it looks pretty bare bones at the moment, but for the most part, you created a page. So we're going to begin beating more and more information to this so that you hopefully have a full-fledged page at the end of this workshop. So once you've created your page, it's time to start filling out some of the information on your page. So if everyone can go to the About section of their page and go ahead and click on that, that should take you to a page that looks like this. Has everyone got there? So on this left menu over here, you can see all the options you have for your page. We're going to explore page roles, which is what you had spoken about earlier. Your department might have more than one person that's going to be contributing to your page, and this is where you can assign them what to do. So you have an intern for a semester, and you want them to write content for your page. As long as they have a Facebook profile, right here is where you'd make them an administrator. So again, under page roles, right here, you would type the name of that intern, and then you would click editor. You're going to want to be the administrator, whoever's the main person running this account. What we're running into a lot of problems right now is we have a lot of dead Facebook pages because an intern will create them and then they'll graduate. So as long as there's somebody that works here that's the administrator, we can get back into that and take them off as the editor. When you go into the About section, you can see all the information that you're going to enter. It's going to show up right here. So this is like the top of my timeline, so it's right to the left of your timeline. And whenever anybody clicks on that, they're going to be able to see all the information that you input. Okay, guys, so here's where I show everyone how to upload a cover photo. All right, like I said, the proper size is 851 by 315, and that's kind of an awkward size because usually they're even numbers, but this is just the way the platform's set up. So once you find a photo that you like, there's going to be a camera icon, and you just go ahead and click on that. You can choose a photo from your computer or from a website, and then you just click Upload. It'll allow you to reposition, so say you want, it to be off center or something like that. You can drag it, but you can't resize it. Okay, you guys? So it's basically the same steps for your profile picture. This little camera icon, when you click on it, you're going to go ahead and upload an image. And I made this like this for a reason. This is a 180 by 180 image, and that's what happens when you upload it. It makes it 160 by 160. So again, you're really going to want to make this image 160 by 160 if it's a logo like that that's going to get cropped off. So now what I want to do is talk about choosing your Facebook URL. Now you might be wondering what that means. It's basically a convenient vanity URL that someone can type into the web browser to find your page. So if you didn't already set this up in your address area in that About Me section, you can go ahead and do that. Now basically if you don't do this, you guys, what's going to happen is Facebook is going to give you a URL that's not really pretty and not easy to remember. So it's best to do something like this, www./Eastern UR for Eastern University Relations. But again, this is a vanity URL, so if people type this in the URL box, they'll go right to your Facebook page, even if you have a longer one that looks like it has numbers and so on and so forth on it. Okay, and there are several things to remember too. You can only change the name of your account once after the first time. You can't transfer ownership of so this is the name of your account, not the web address. You can't transfer ownership of a username to another party. You can't sell it, and usernames may be reclaimed for unauthorized usages. Okay, so one question I get asked a lot when people are starting out their Facebook pages is, how do I get people to like my page? So the easiest way to get people to like your page is to invite them to do so. Chances are, if you have a Facebook profile, you already have friends, so all you have to do is go over here to the left-hand side and click Invite them. Your friends will pop up right there. You can promote your page, but that costs money, so I don't recommend doing that. But basically, this is an easy way to go ahead and get all those people over to your page. All you have to do, like I said, is click Invite. Once they get that invitation, they have the ability to respond, and they can go ahead and like your page. You might even want to throw out a post on your personal page saying, hey, you guys, I started this business page. Go ahead and like it, and just throw a link up to it. So sharing photos and videos on your Facebook business page works much the same as you would do on a Facebook profile page. So I'll go ahead and show you how to upload photos directly to your page. The first thing you're going to do is go back to your main page. And then at the top of your timeline, it's going to say Status, Photo, Offer, or Event. So you want to make sure that you're posting and commenting as the page and not, say, yourself. So I checked here, since I was on Eastern Connecticut State University's official page, I checked them, and so I didn't post as Kate Kramer or The Paddock, another company I work for. So you want to check that. And then, basically, if you wanted to change as me, all you would have to do is click on it. Okay? But because you're adding content to your page as your page, you really want to reflect that and not a personal profile. So what you want to do is go ahead and choose Upload Photo or Video, say. And what I chose is an entrance of Eastern. So when you choose Upload Photo or Video, it's going to go ahead and throw a thumbnail up here. That means the image actually uploaded. So you want to throw a catchy phrase in. Did you have a question? Okay. I wrote, those who explore often know exactly where they're going. Go ahead and throw that type up there, and then you're going to hit Post, and it's going to go right directly to the timeline. You always want to use a photo because it's more attractive and enticing to your users. And then also just accompany it with some nice text, even a link or two. The posts with a link, with a photo, will always get more interaction than those with just plain text. Okay, so once you hit post, like I said, it's going to go over here into your timeline. You got a big, beautiful photo sitting right there. The same holds true for video. The only differences with video is that it'll take a little longer to process. So once it's uploaded, it'll let you know. It'll actually send you a message right to your screen. All right? So for the most part, though, videos and photos are a great way to increase traffic organically. This means people are going to be able to see it without using a promotion or ad. So always try to use photos or videos in your posts. So there's a couple different methods that you can use to draw specific attention to a particular post on your page. One of the first things is called highlighting. So go ahead and just write a post. Since we maybe don't have any images, just go ahead and write something in your timeline. So under status, so right there, just go ahead and type something. So I'm going to go back to your page and click that. No problem. And then go ahead and just type something in that box and hit enter for me. Great. You're all set? All right. Yep, just hit enter and post it, and it should appear right below where you wrote it. All right, so then there's going to be a down arrow at the top right-hand corner of that post. Go ahead and click that, and that box should highlight, or should pop up. Okay, so highlighting. If I come over a post and I want to click highlight, what that's going to do is it's going to put a little star next to it, indicating that it's kind of like an important post. So when people scroll over it, they'll see that on your page. It just kind of says, hey, this is a little bit more important than all the other posts on my page. So if you go back to that down arrow again, and you look at the top thing, it says pin to top. So in addition to highlighting, you can pin a post to the top of your page. So say this was a page where you posted on every day, but you had a really interesting article that you wanted to say at the top for, say, a whole week. So what you would do is you would pin it to the top of that page, and when you do that, you're going to actually notice that the page refreshes, and there's going to be a smaller, like, little bookmark icon like this at that post. And what that means is if you add another post to this page, it's going to show up underneath that post from here on out until you unpin that post from the top. And the way you would go ahead and unpin it is go back to that arrow, and it'll say unpin to top. Okay, guys? So maintaining a Facebook page can be quite time-consuming, and what you might want to do is develop several pieces of content to share on your page and have them scheduled out to go out during various times. Say you're busy, your whole afternoon, you have meetings, you have Facebook workshops, okay? But you want to post to it. So what you're going to go ahead and do is you'll write out a post like you did before, maybe add a fancy photo, and then you're going to go ahead and click on this little clock symbol right there. What that's going to do is it's going to bring a drop down that looks like this. You're going to be able to select a date and even a time, and then Eastern Standard Time is most likely what you'd want to post. And then you'd hit schedule. What's going to happen when you do that is you'll see something appear on your timeline that'll say one post scheduled for whatever date and time you scheduled it at. Say you made a mistake, you want to go edit that post, you would just click See Post and it'll give you the options to edit it. Okay, guys? And I have to say, I do this every day. I come in at 6 o'clock, I find all the wonderful press releases Dwight writes, and I post them for different times throughout the week that we have the most traffic on our networks. So Facebook is a great place to get information out about other events that your department might be running, like an open house. Whatever the case may be, Facebook has a way of creating events like that you can invite people, and they can also RSVP to. So right where it says status on the timeline, it also says event or milestone. And if you go ahead and click on event, what it's going to do is bring you to a page that looks like this, or a little window that looks like this. All right, so what you would do is fill in all of the relevant information pertaining to your event, name, details, date, and time. You can even add like a link so people can purchase tickets. like a fun run or whatever, wherever they could go to purchase something for the website. So then if you guys want to just go ahead and create an event, you can go ahead and click create, and it'll bring you to a page like this. All right, so once the event is created, it'll live inside of your page. You can add an event photo, which is great. You know, like I said, the more visuals, the better. And then you can go back to your timeline. All right, and what it's going to do is it's going to show that you created an event, and you can click join. So say you're a biology teacher, are you going to necessarily be friends with all your biology students? Probably not. So how are you going to invite them? You have to be friends with somebody to invite them, or you have to have their email. If you have a student's email, you can invite them by email.
So then creating an event doesn't share that event with everyone who's liked.
What it does is it shares the event with everyone who's liked the page, but it doesn't invite everybody. It basically is like just throwing a flyer out there letting them know this event's going on. Here's a landing page with all the information, but they can't RSVP unless you're a friend and you've invited them. But they can definitely see it if they've liked your page, absolutely.
Well, and if you invite them, then they often get an email, right? If you specifically invited them.
It depends on their settings. Like if they have email linked to their Facebook, they'll get an email, but say they don't want emails and they've opted out of that, they'll get like a message, you've been invited to, in their notifications, they'll get a message, you've been invited to this event, would you like to RSVP? If they're following the page, it might just show up, this event is going on this date. It depends on their settings. But the only way you're going to be able to get an RSVP is if you have somebody as a friend on your personal profile and you can invite them. So like you can see here, I created an event for a social media workshop. I don't think I'm friends with any of you, unfortunately. So we can change that. But right. Well, I mean, if you're looking to post events for RSVPs, unfortunately, it's probably not going to be too successful if it's like a huge group like alumni. If you have a smaller page for like department and say you are friends with your students, you can invite them right there. Say it's like an open house and it's new kids. It's going to be hard to invite new people that you don't know who's coming to the event. But like a small gathering, like I said, if you're friends with your students, you can go ahead and invite them right there. So if you wanted to join your event, you could do that right there. You could decline going to the event. You could invite friends, and then this box will pop up. What you would do is you would check the people you wanted to invite, send, and they would get an invitation. Okay, guys, so basically I created this event. I joined this event. So I had this page published when I was creating it, so unfortunately I reached one of my friends and they asked me if they were invited. I had to tell them no. So this is what it would look like if you created an event page. It has date and time. I put where it was, so on and so forth. You could add more pictures if you wanted to. And then say it was a smaller event for a particular department and I was friends with those people and you invited them. This is where you'd be able to see who said they would go, who said maybe they'll go, and how many were actually invited. Okay. Now also when you create an event, what you can do is you can copy that URL that's at the top when you're on that page and you can share it on a timeline. So you can basically go ahead and share it on your own timeline or on the page that you manage. That way, like Mike said, everyone will see it that likes that page if you go ahead and share it on that page's timeline. Okay, so they're not necessarily going to be invited if you just create it and they liked you, but if you share it on your timeline, they'll see it. Okay? So as you start to create content in your Facebook page, inevitably people will start seeing it and they'll either interact with it by liking it or sending you a comment. It's really easy to do. Basically what happens is right underneath a post, people have the ability to write a comment in this field, okay? You can see here we uploaded a video of the ALS challenge taken this past fall on campus, and we actually challenged Western to take the challenge. And they responded in our comment section that they already had taken the challenge and they put a link to their video. Okay, so this is always going to be public facing unless you want to take the conversation offline, and you can do that by messaging. But anytime you post and you have a public facing profile, anyone's going to be able to comment on it unless you've change those settings to be private, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so now how to carry a conversation on in private. So basically, there's a messaging system built into Facebook. When someone comes to your page, you're going to notice there's this little message icon. So this is private messaging. Okay, so nobody else can see this message. And when you get one and you're the administrator of a page, it'll pop up in red that you have one message. So when you hover over it, you'll see any messages that you have had sent to your account. When you click on one, a larger box like this will appear. And you can see in this case, someone asked, does the fitness center have a student center have a locker room? And I replied, no, it doesn't, the sports center does. So you can go back and forth here and carry on conversations. It's a great way to interact with people in a one-to-one privacy environment. It's also a really good way to deal with problems. And you know, chances are you're going to run into somebody that's going to be dissatisfied with something that you do. And you're always going to want to have a way to kind of troubleshoot that situation. And you really don't want to air your dirty laundry. So it's really a great place to deal with them one-on-one. And you want to make sure that you're always checking your messages tab. You don't want 10 messages to build up and not reply to any of them. I try to make it a point to reply to every message that I get, just so that my users know I'm not just a page that exists and gets checked randomly. So now you guys are going to move on to the analytics side of Facebook, which is called Facebook Insights. So as your page matures, in short, Insights section of the page is nothing more than a dashboard filled with analytical data. You can access it right from the top of your page right here. And if you guys click on it right now, you're not going to see much of anything because you just made these pages. But once you actually get some content on there and it's been on there for a significant amount of time, you'll start to see some interesting reports. So once people start interacting with it, it's going to showcase data here just like mine. Like I said, you're probably not going to see anything at all. But when I click on that Insights tab, this is exactly where it's going to take me, which is called an overview page. So this is where you're going to get a snapshot of everything that's happened within your Facebook page over the past week. The rest of the tabs are specific areas to the Insights. So you have likes, reach, visits, posts, and people. So the first tab here, likes, this is where you can see data about the likes your department is receiving during that week. The Reach tab contains analytics that factor into the Facebook algorithm, which includes likes, comments, and interactions you receive on those. The Visits tab will give you information about where your traffic is coming from and what parts of your Facebook page are receiving the most interaction. The Post tab is really interesting because it's where you can break down the individual pieces of content to see how well they're performing. And finally, you have a People's tab, and this one's going to give you a lot of information about who your fans are and where they live, and basically the general population of Facebook to compare it to. So all in all, this is like a one-stop shop for an overview for your analytics. And as your Insights panel begins to fill up with information, I highly recommend checking it out on a regular basis so you can understand your audience, what kind of content they like, what they don't, and then the fine-tuning that you can go ahead and do. So as you can see here, my page likes are up 0.7%. My total page likes, new page likes this week were up 37%. My total reach, skyrocketed 116%. Total reach skyrocketed 325%, but my people engaged was down 9.9%. So guys, the reason why this happened is because this was a Monday, and it goes back down. We run ads every week, Monday to Monday, so every Monday we usually see a significant drop. But if you see a significant drop, I wouldn't worry too much. But if you see a steady drop all the time, that's when all your numbers are in the red, that's when you need to start worrying about your page. But if you stay consistent with your posting, you probably won't run into that problem too much. So below that overview is statistics with more detailed information. Right here you can see the date and time that something was posted. Right here are links to the actual individual post. So if you click on it, it'll take you to just that post. You can also see what kind of post it is right here. These are links. This is images, okay? And then if you wanted to target your post to a certain audience, say kids ages 16 to 18, that's where it would show up here. But all of these are general public. I post to everywhere. I don't like to just target my posts because I want as many people to see them as possible. This will give you the number of how many people your post reached. And this over here is the interaction. So 72 people liked my post and 3 people commented or shared. And that last column you can really ignore because you have to pay to boost your posts, and that's not really what I'm here to talk to you guys about. So we'll move on. So if you go back a year, this is how the Eastern Connecticut State University page has performed up until right now. And it's been a pretty steady climb except for this little dip right here when I went on maternity leave and the page was not live for really 30 days. But it went right back up, which is important. So you just want to make sure that your page is always going up and not dropping down. Okay, guys? So below that is a really useful tool called Net Likes. This is my favorite graph on the page because it shows you your new likes minus any unlikes that you've gotten. That means people who have unsubscribed from your page, and it displays down here in the red. So you can see at the top of the legend, red is unlikes, this light blue is organic likes, which means unpaid, and these are paid likes. So like I said, we run a couple ads every week, so we actually pay for them. But you can see that we have just as many almost organic likes as we do paid likes. And a couple unlikes here and there. If you get 1 or 2, that's not bad, but if you start breaching 3 or 4 a day, you might want to look at the content you're posting. You could also filter, say I just want to see the unlikes, you would click that right there, and it would just show the red. Organic likes, it would just show the blue, so on and so forth. So again, this is going to be based off a date range that you've selected at the top. I set it for September 30th to October 9th. And as you can see here, I had 1 unlike through this period and between 1 and 5 organic likes a day. So I had a big jump on October 8th right here, but I also got 1 unlike there. So you can kind of see the net effect it has and what it does to me over time. So for, say, every 8 likes I get 1 unlike, so it's about 7. And you can also filter that. I didn't take a screenshot, but right here, if you filter it, this is what it'll look like over there. Okay, so the next panel is going to be some really interesting data so you can understand where people are coming from. All right, so the number of times your page was liked broken down by where it happened. So, like I said, these are ads, but this purple right here is mobile. This yellow right here is search engines, and then from on your page. So somebody went to your page and liked it. Somebody saw your page on a mobile ad and liked it, so on and so forth. And you can break them down right there into categories too if you'd like to see, since they're really overlapping if you want to see more specific numbers. All right, so post reach. The reach tab is going to explain how your content is performing in terms of how it's getting across the internet and how people are actually looking at it. This just means the number of people that your post was served to, either through a news feed or otherwise. The algorithm is constantly in flux and changing, so it really is going to vary depending on the kind of content that you use and audience you have, and if you're paying to promote your post, which most of you are probably not going to. So all of this is organic posting. So directly underneath that, you're going to see a likes, comments, and shares tab. These actions will help you reach more people. Anytime somebody likes, comments, or shares your stuff, it's a good thing because hopefully then it's going to populate your page into other people's news feeds. There are 3 different aspects to this graph: likes, comments, and shares. So your likes is going to be the one probably with the most numbers because it's the most easiest for people to do. Next, you can see that comments and shares is significantly lower, again, because it takes more time for people to do this. So they're actually choosing, if they share it, to share with their friends. So not only do you have to weigh in that it's going to take time, but there's a trust factor. They're sharing it with their friends, people that they trust. Do they trust your content? It's a question that you have to think about. So also, if someone comments, it takes time, like I said, so don't be discouraged if your likes are way higher than your comments and your shares. So directly underneath that, you're going to see hide, report as spam, or unlike. So this is going to tell you the amount of times that somebody went and reported you or hid all your posts or hid one specific post. So you can see here that somebody hid 3 of my posts one day, which is kind of a high number. But on that same day, we actually received a lot of likes. So maybe that's why the number is a little higher. Maybe it was a sensitive post and it got a lot of interaction. And again, I don't have any report as spam, which is really bad. Facebook will start monitoring you if you actually have any of that kind of activity going on in your page. So next up on the Insights panel is going to be the Visits tab. This is going to work pretty much the same way as the Reach tab does. This is the last quarter, so it's from August until October. This is going to tell me how many times my page was viewed. So basically, anytime someone comes to my timeline, checks in on my page, looks at my photos, looks at my About Me information, anything that has to do with my page, it's going to pop up right here, and it's going to tell me they looked at it from your timeline, they looked at your photos, they looked at your About Me info section, reviews, and others. Okay, so directly underneath that, you're going to see something called external refers, and this is how you can find out what websites are referring traffic to you. You can see here on the right-hand side, I have things like Bing and Google. Those are sending me traffic. It's a really good way of finding out where you should be putting maybe other ads on the internet or making sure your other information is current. So say you have dated information on Google, you're probably not going to get a lot of traffic from Google. If you stay current with them, they'll probably force some traffic over your way. So next we're going to look at the Post tab. This is where you can track individual content pieces and how they perform when you post, what posted, how you posted, everything like that. This is where you can get a lot of good information about how your audience is interacting with your content at what time. So up here you're going to see when your fans are online, post types, and top posts from the pages that you watch. So this is data for 1 week period, and it's in Eastern Standard Time. This is going to show me different parts of the day, so from midnight to midnight on a Sunday right here. So as you can see, it kind of looks like a big whale, but obviously everyone's sleeping up until here. People get up, they start interacting with the page, and then everyone goes back to bed around 9 o'clock or goes and does other things, and the page drops back down again. Now this is just Sunday. If you want to see Monday, which is clearly going to be a lot different, you go ahead and click that one. So on and so forth for each day of the week. Each day is probably going to have kind of similar numbers, but they could be different. And this is really important when you go ahead and you want to schedule those posts. I'm not here at 9 o'clock at night on Sunday, but since it's our busiest time of night, I try to make sure we always post that time of day. So below that, you're going to see how did the post perform. You can come here and see all the published posts that you've done, again, down here. Right here, it's going to show you links. This is how much reach on average you get, so 1,000 people. When I just post a status update, 863 people. When I add a photo, 458 people. The final section of the Facebook Insights panel that we're going to explore is the People's tab on the end. So you're going to be able to see a lot of different information about the people that actually visit your page here. You're going to be able to see where they come from as far as country goes, city, and the language that they say they speak.
This is actual demographics now.
Right. So up here it says people like your page. So women, 61% of women like my page and 38% of men. The number next to that is Facebook's number. So 46% of people or women are actually fans of the Facebook world. So you can kind of just measure it to Facebook to see. So again, over here, this is ages, so we're blowing the average Facebook page out of the water as far as 18 to 24-year-olds go, but that makes sense because we're a university. But then over here, you see we really don't have that many 13 to 17-year-olds. So I really try to work on building that up. It's a little difficult because they've started to leave us to go to Instagram and Pinterest and other places, but that's a number that I'm always trying to get up. So again, this grayed out area is the Facebook average, and this is our average. Okay, guys? All right, so now it's time to start talking about managing the settings of our page. In order to do that, you have to go to the Settings tab, again at that top of that page of your home page. Once we go there, we're going to stick with the General section up at the top right here. We'll start with posting availability. So if you go ahead and click Edit That, this top box should appear right here. So what these mean right here is allow other people to post to my timeline, allow photos and videos to post, review posts by others before they're shown on my page, or disable posts by others on my page timeline. So right here, if you're going to click this and say you click this, you're going to allow everybody to post whatever they want to your page's timeline. So again, this is what I check for the university's official page. I would suggest this for other department pages. That way you can just review something before it shows up on your page. So below that is post targeting and privacy. So turn on privacy and newsfeed targeting so I control the privacy of my news posts. So I don't select this because I like as many people as I can reach to see my posts. If you wanted to just post to, say, college kids and you wanted to choose 17 to 25-year-olds, you can go ahead and check that and it'll allow you to fill that out there and save the changes. The one below that is messages. So if you check that, you're going to allow people to send you those private messages on Facebook. And again, tagging ability. So this is going to be basically, if somebody takes a picture at Eastern, I'm allowing them right here to tag me that they were at Eastern in that photo. So if I uncheck that, they wouldn't be able to tag that they were at our official university page. Okay, guys, so up here we have country restrictions. So say you don't want to post to a certain country, you can go ahead and add it there and save it, and it will not show anything to that country. Age, say you don't think that you want anyone under the age of 16 to look at your page, you can go ahead and edit that, save that there. Page moderation, I really like this field because it allows you to block certain words. So I like to fill this up with curse words or anything inappropriate that I don't think should be on the university page. And then you can go ahead and save that. Unfortunately, she just left because this is the merge page section. Say that you have an intern who created a page and they left. If you can get access to that page's password, you can go ahead and merge it to the page that you want to, say you created a page with 25 likes, you found out you had an old page with 200, you can go ahead right here and request to merge duplicate pages, as long as you have the password to that old account. You'd click Save. Bottom is remove your page. So this is where, say you don't want a Facebook page anymore, you want it to be gone, you click Delete Your Page. And what that's going to do is it's going to give you some time to decide if you really want to do it. You'll have 14 days to restore it in case you change your mind, but after that it'll be deleted permanently. All your likes and photos and everything will be gone. So I suggest that you take some time if you really want to do that to think about it. Over here, now blocking and reporting people. So right here, Jay Luke commented on a video. It's totally appropriate, but say it wasn't. What you would do is go over to the comment, to the right-hand side of it, and a little X box will appear. You can click Hide. Once you've clicked Hide, these will appear below the comment. Unhide, delete, report, or ban. So if you click Ban, something will pop up right here that'll say that user has been banned, and you can always undo it if you've worked out your problem and you want to go ahead and allow them permission back to your page. Does everybody understand that? Is that clear? Okay. So when you ban somebody, once you go back to the settings page, all the way at the bottom is something called banned users. So say you worked out your problem, you want to unban the person, all you have to do is click on this little icon over here that looks like a sun, and you can click unban. Right here, this is your notification settings. It's still under settings under the third one down from general. So right here, you can select if you want to get a notification anytime something happens on your page, every 12 to 24 hours, or if you don't want any notifications and you just want whatever's going to happen, you click off. Below that is email. Every time there's activity on your page, if you want an email to be sent to the account that you created the profile with or the page with, you can click that there. Say you don't want to get any emails and you only want to know when you go onto Facebook what happened, you would click off right there. I just have it clicked because I like to monitor it just in case anything happens. The next page, I get asked a lot when people are first starting out their pages, like how do I connect my Facebook page to something else like Twitter, for example. So this is an area where you would go ahead and you could link those. It's facebook.com/Twitter. Okay, so what you would do is you'd basically enter the name, the Twitter name. and then hit link to Twitter. It'll prompt you through Twitter to add, the permissions to your page. You'll select yes, and then it'll bring you back to here, and it'll say you're linked to Twitter. So now what this means is every time I post to Facebook, it'll post my Twitter feed. Okay, guys? Which is really convenient. I mean, say you don't have 20 minutes to post to Facebook and Twitter, but you have 2 minutes to post to Facebook and you'd like it to go to Twitter. Okay? Okay, guys, so that's it. We have more workshops for Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn and Instagram coming up. These are the dates. I hope to see you guys again, and thanks for coming to the workshop. I hope you guys learned something valuable.